How's it, guys? Cybercrypt here, back with some No Man's Sky, and I am currently at my Frost Crystal farm. I just wanted to show you guys around a bit here, to see what my setup is for when I do farming for plants, which is one of the resources. Well, there's a couple of them that you'll need for stasis devices. Let me quickly show you. I have been busy farming a little bit of stasis devices. Let's just bring in my stasis device carrier there. Let's get out of this bad weather. Right, there's his, whoops, there's he's coming in. Alright, so if you open up the inventory, go Starship, as you can see, I have been busy. Now, more or less one row, which is 100 stasis devices, that's more or less 2 billion, 2.3 billion. It really depends on the percentage at which you are selling it, like a minus 0.3 or plus 1.3%. That all depends. So it's a pity we've got bad weather now. Let me just grab my ship that I use to collect my resources when I am doing this. This is more or less the setup that I use, guys. It's a pity for this weather. Let's go to another base. Let's go to another base. Let's quickly see your bases. Alright, I am currently at the Frost Crystal. Alright, let's do the mineral and gas mining setups first. I have collected some of these resources already, and I just basically wanted to bring you along for the ride, just to show you what my basic setup is. This infrastructure, the setup that I've got going here, supports the production of about, bad weather here as well, for about 50 stasis devices. As you can see, I've got my teleporter room, another room, whole bunch of solar panels. So obviously you'll need to unlock these prefab buildings, guys. And then I've got storages here and 3 gas pumps, which comes to an amount of about 25k of the gas. Let's dump that into the Starship. Right, little landing pad, you know, just so your ship's got somewhere to go. And as you can see here, I have collected a lot of the stuff already.
Extreme night temperature detected.
Everything is extreme about this planet. The night, the day. Little safe beacon. Okay, let's see what was next on the list. Your bases. Alright, sulfurine is done. Condensed carbon. Alright. So you'll need to be able to survey, obviously, for these resources. On a side note, I use an app called Assistant for No Man's Sky. It was done by some good fellow. Real easy app to use, guys. Will show you everything that you need to build these stasis devices. This is my basic setup for a farm. I go about it by finding myself good power supply. I think this might be S-class. This is an A-class. Alright, and basic teleport room, and then I offset these left and right. Now this is most likely one of the bigger ones that you'll need, because you need quite a lot of condensed carbon, and these fungal clusters, one fungal cluster is equal to 2 carbon, and 2 carbon is equal to 1 condensed carbon. Alright, so I'm gonna collect these, and once I'm done collecting, guys, I'll meet you back at my freighter where we can talk about the refining process, quantities, and what exactly you will need. The app is pretty straightforward. So yeah, I'll see you once I am done collecting all these things. I'll bring you back if I feel that I've got anything else important to say. But yes, I'll see you back on my freighter. Alright. Right, there was something else that I wanted to talk about. The reason I use these, what do they call them? Biodomes. The reason I use these biodomes, guys, because this allows you basically to plant these plants anywhere on a planet. Doesn't matter its atmosphere, its climate, or anything like that. And then let's quickly see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So each one contains 16 plants. That will be important when you do the calculations later for how many of these domes you will need per plant. Alright, anyways, let's continue collecting, and I'll see you on the freighter in a moment. Right, so welcome back, guys, to my humble abode. This is my little freighter. Come, let's go open up the inventory. As you can see here, I have collected everything I need. However, my setup does give me some overspill. So for one, I need to take that out. Alright, so that is 5 stacks plus 5 extra to make 50k nitrogen, 50k sulfurine, 50k radon. And then I'll need 5,000 of each of the following: phosphorus, paraffinium, dioxide. Now, if you recall, guys, I told you about a little app that I downloaded called an Assistant for No Man's Sky. In that app, it shows you all the quantities you need to build one stasis device. Alright, so how you set up your farms, I mean, that's completely up to you. I mean, you can be creative. The important thing is that you obviously meet the quantities for however many stasis devices you want to make. Me personally, I like a round number of 100. That gives me more than enough money to play around with, grind some ships. You can literally buy up a lot of ship for 2 billion. Then you'll need, moving on, then you'll need 40k gamma root. You'll need 20k star bulb, and then you'll need 30k, only 30k frost crystal. There we go. You only need 20k selenium. Alright. Sorting, only 10k. What is this? Cactus flesh. And then you only need 5k faecium. That's basically animal poo. Let's go 5k. There we go. So the rest of the stuff are extra that you can dump into your freighter. You can do whatever you want with that. I usually dump it into my freighter. I have a storage container specifically dedicated to stasis devices, as you can see. So, and this is all the little bits of spillover that I tend to get from my harvesting. Funny enough, gamma root and star bulb, when you build them and you use the quantities, to find the quantities you can use No Man's Sky Wiki. That will show you how much you will get from harvesting a gamma root plant. naturally, basically, you want to, what would you say, it was 16 plants per biodome. So you just want to basically use those quantities, do the math, and that will tell you how many biodomes you need to build in order to harvest for whatever quantity stasis devices you want to make. Once again, like I said, mine is a quantity of 100. I don't know, I just like that number. Let's see, that can go. There we go. This can go. Right, so, and then here's another 20 that somehow snuck past. Let's look at this. Right, oops, there's more. I don't know exactly how that happens. That's also spillover. This I just deleted. Right, let's have a look at this. Oh, there's another extra 400 here that we won't need. An extra 3000 here that we won't need. Alright. Let's chuck that into the overspill. Some cobalt as well. There you go. Alright. So there you have it, guys. Those are the exact numbers. That is what you will need to make 100 stasis devices. My setup allows me to harvest this every 24 hours. So if I harvest this in the morning, tomorrow morning I can come back and harvest the same amount again, with a little bit of spillover considered. Sometimes I don't need to harvest, since I only need 5k of paraffinium dioxide and phosphorus, and you can see here the amount of spillover I've had so far. I can skip that step in the process. Now here's a little quality of life thing that I want to show you guys when you're working with your refiners on your freighter. Alright, firstly, consider this, that you need condensed carbon. You need 300 condensed carbon per stasis device. I want to make 100, so I need 30,000 condensed carbon, hence 30,000 fungal mold, as each fungal mold gives me 1 carbon, and I need 2 carbon per condensed carbon. And then also I need ionized cobalt, a quantity of 15,000, hence the 30,000 cobalt that I've got going here. Now what I like to do personally is, let's just move this out of the way here quickly. I am going to divide these into stacks of 5,000, and then again into stacks of 2,500. Obviously if you're working with different numbers, guys, you will you won't use the same stack sizes as I am, but this works out pretty well for what I'm about to show you. So let's just divide that into stacks of, I think it's 1,250. There's a reason to my madness here. Alright, so 1,250, 1,250, all of them are divided. And then also it used to be that I had to do it from the top down, but I don't know, since the last update it seems that when you open up the menu at the refiners, which I'm about to show you, it tends to want to work it from the bottom up. So the first thing I start refining will be the cobalt. That takes the longest. So I'm going to get that done quickly, and as you can see here, I can just grab from the top, drop it in, kickstart it, and away we go. It's gonna take 7.5 minutes per stack. So let me quickly do this, and then I'll be back. Right, so all our cobalt is cooking, refining to ionized cobalt. Let's get here to my next refiner room, and now I am going to show you why I do it in stacks of 1250. Number one, I think this only goes up to 4,500. So if your stack is if your stack gives out a higher quantity, you're going to be left with some fungal mold in this section here, which makes the collecting and the process a lot harder. Also, you'll see that this works out that by the time, because remember we need condensed carbon, right? So there's a second step to this, and it works out perfectly well. By the time I put in the last stack, this first stack is nearly done. So let's do that, and I'll get back to you when we get into the second step. So here we're putting in the last stack. That's got started, and then you'll see that this first stack is basically done. So it's a good balance. It means I don't have a lot of standstill time, and then all you need to do is go turn that into condensed carbon. Now remember that we have our cobalt cooking in the other room, and by the time you've done this, cobalt should also nearly be done. So as far as timing goes, this is the smoothest I could get it. Otherwise you end up standing around waiting for your stuff to cook, and that can get boring. Obviously the payoff is close to 2.5 billion units, which then allows you to go on a ship buy spree so that you can get all those storage upgrades that you need for your ships. So yeah, it's a process, but definitely worth it. Like I said earlier, guys, when you do set up your infrastructure for this, you can use the No Man's Sky wiki, which will tell you the quantities of, say for instance, you're harvesting frost crystal. The wiki will tell you that you get 25 per frost crystal, and then you can basically just say, alright, so I need 25, I get 25 frost crystal, I need 30,000, so 30,000 divided by 25, that will tell you how many plants you need, and then you can take that quantity and you divide it by 16, which is the number of plants you can grow per biodome. It will usually give you a fraction, say 9.6, which basically I then round that up to 10 rooms. That's what gives me the little bit of a spill over. Anyways, let's go check on my cobalt here. Is it almost done? 97%. There we go. Alright, so just a little reminder, here's that app again. It's called Assistant for No Man's Sky. It was done by Kurt Lawrence, guys. Really good app, really awesome app. If you open it up and you go on to, I think it's the catalog, you go to crafted products, scroll down, it's in alphabetical order, you scroll down to stasis device. There we go, open it up. At the bottom you'll see it's view all raw materials, and it will give you a list of all the raw materials you need. And from there it's simple math to work out what you need, how much you need. In my experience, to set up the infrastructure I've got going for 100 stasis devices, the gas, those are the ones that take the longest. To fill up my gas is 24 hours, and I've got 2 mines each producing me 25,000, because ultimately I need 50k per 100 stasis devices. So anything else would really fit into that 24-hour bracket. The cobalt, the plants. I don't think there's any plants that actually take that long. I think the longest one is 8 hours. Alright, there's our cobalt done. And as you can see, our condensed carbon is also done. So I'll collect this and then I'll be right back. Right, so here we go. This is the last stack. So we just double check if I've got everything that I need. Okay, that's the 30k condensed carbon and 15k ionized cobalt. Alright, so now the next thing I like to do, guys, and this is the reason why I do it. So if you go into the inventory here, you go into freighter. If you start crafting these things on your freighter, it will start using your stuff that you've stored in the background here. I'm not 100% sure whether it decides to first take from the freighter and then your backpack and then the starship. So for the next step, I like to just warp away from my freighter. I'll pick any base. Let's go. Where can we go? Let's go to my mold farm. If you can remember from my previous video, this is how I farm nanites. Now this is basically, I feel this is the most tedious part of actually crafting these stasis devices, because Hello Games in their infinite wisdom have decided that you cannot set a quantity. Why do I always spawn at the bottom of my base? This is silly. Alright, there's my ship. Right, so let's start. Let's I want to do a stasis device. So you can press E on PC. I'm not 100% sure what it would be for Xbox and PlayStation, but you'll be able to get the prompt on the, as you can see there, view craft steps. And this is the easiest way that you can craft these stasis devices. Now you can go out and say, for instance, as you saw the heat capacitor, I can press here. If I press D and A, I can change the quantity. So either way, I'm going to be pressing a button at least 100 times. So I prefer to just go ahead, go into this tree, and then you just click away until you've got 100 of each. I think the only thing that you need to do above 100 is the glass. As you can see, I currently have 23 glass on me, so I need to make 523 glass in order to make 100 living glass. Yeah, so I am going to click away at this, and then I'll bring you back once I'm done. Alright, so here we go. I've made 100 of each of the required parts, and now we just need to do the 100 stasis devices. Usually I do that via this menu. I find it easier. And there we go. Then what I like to do is just put this into my exosuit. Alright. So that's basically, this is the Master of Beauty, one of my exotics. I have no idea where I found this. I wish I saved the coordinates for this planet, but this one is the one that carries my stasis devices. If I can find a landing spot. There we go. And there you go, guys. That's 100 stasis devices, and I can do this every 24 hours. Alright, so this ship is basically filled up now. Now, usually because I don't really need the money anymore, I like to go to the anomaly and help some new players out with a stack or two of this stasis devices. But let's just go see how much it's worth. Alright, so here we are at the space station. Let's get to the trade terminal here. And then we hit sell. C to get to the starship. And there you can see it gives me a minus number of 2.1 billion. Now, when it does that, guys, do not sell them all at once. We'll see once I hit 100 here, that number should change. So 1.5 billion, and that's at a minus 0.3%. This is a highly refined technology, so if you find a rich system that does well with technology, you should be able to get a better price. You can do 200, I think, but at some point you can see, there we go. So at 139 it goes into a minus, and I do not understand why it does that. And then the price doesn't go up. So for safety reasons, I usually sell it just before it hits that minus mark. And that's 2.1 billion units in a single go. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. If you've got any questions, jump into that comment field and let me know if you need any help. Once again, I think if you just use the No Man's Sky wiki and the little app I mentioned, the assistant, the No Man's Sky assistant, it should be fairly easy, and pretty soon you'll be able to have your own stasis device industry. This is by no means a very large industry. Like I said, it only supports the production of about 100 stasis devices, but I mean 2.1 billion units, do you really need more than that? Anyways, thanks for watching guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and once again, if you've got questions, jump into that comment field. Till next time.